managing regional and partner variations for MDF. Again, one that I know certainly, Brenda, we got some pre-webinar questions on. Mimish, I might ask you to kick this one off, because you mentioned that while you're responsible for the Americas, you know, you do see what's going on globally. So be keen to get some insights here in your experience, please.
Yeah, sure. So as we revamped our program, and we had to think about our respective theaters and worked very closely in collaboration with EMEA and APAC. Our model at Barracuda Networks is really on America side, very focused on our resellers, our VARs, right? So it's that sort of a model. When you shift over to EMEA and you shift over to APAC, it's more distribution led. So with that comes some variances. So what we did is we worked very closely with our counterparts in region to ensure that we're building a model that works, given that it's more of a distribution-led model, right? So you're thinking you're going through a two-tier model, so you're going through your distributors to influence your resellers, right? So that's going to take a sort of a different trajectory in terms of your approach. So keeping that in mind, and I think as well, what we didn't want to do is, as a global company, create unnecessary, what would you call it, programs that don't have kind of like the base tenets to be global in nature, and then create the variances as needed. So we wanted to make sure, and we're doing that more and more. And what happens is, as companies start and then grow, you'll find a lot of programs that are different, very dramatically different, don't seem to align theater by theater. And I think that does not make a good experience for your ecosystem of partners in general. So what we try to do is really think about, and what we did with the MDF is, okay, where do we have commonalities and where are we going to be different, and be very, very clear in terms of how that's managed. And of course, we leave our respective regions to manage their variances. And in Americas, my team and myself, we own the MDF process and proposals and how we go to market, and we leave our international counterparts to manage those variances in countries so that it works for their model and it's effective.
Super. And Ryan, could we get your insights on that, please?
Yeah, it's not hugely different to, I think, what Mimish has just said, and I touched on it earlier, which is that, you know, those regional teams have got the flexibility to direct those funds where they think they'll have the biggest impact, and then we've got this sort of layer of centralized oversight, if you like. So there's a local quarterly planning process that takes place within the regions, between the partner and the local channel team and the local marketing manager, that then makes its way into the MDF, or those activities make their way into the MDF process. And there's a formal approval usually from the marketing manager or the PAM within the MDF tool. And then there's that second layer of approval from the programs team, so me and my team. And we're looking at it from two different perspectives, of course. We're looking from a marketing perspective, but then also from a compliance perspective. But it's definitely something we're dedicating a lot of thought to this year in terms of how we can better integrate our partner business and marketing and funding planning processes together, because today those are quite siloed processes, and we want to bring them together so that we get a clearer view of where the investments are being made. We can more easily direct partners towards specific types of activities, and that will help us push those partners towards things that we know work. You know, we have a huge range of partners, as I'm sure Mimish does, you know, from partners who are bigger than us, you know, they're bigger than Extreme, right through to partners who sit there with a blank sheet of paper and want Extreme to tell them exactly what to do. So we've got all of those different types of experiences within our program, and we need to serve all of those and be able to work with all of them. The only other thing I wanted to add in is that, you know, the last couple of years we've come up with different ways of leveraging MDF as well. So, you know, we still have the allocations out to the geos, what we call the geos, which is essentially Americas and then EMEA and APAC, and then the regions within those, you know, share those geo pots, if you like. We've got the sort of traditional method of, you know, partner submits a pre-approval request and then they claim, but we've also seen some success, particularly in EMEA, with campaigns that extreme marketing set up with third-party agencies. So we use MDF to pay for that, but we don't require partners to submit requests and claims per the traditional process. We'll plug specific partners into those programs, and they will benefit from those programs. So it's MDF that's being used, partner benefits, business is being generated, but it's not necessarily following the traditional request and claim route.
Super. Thanks for that insight.